Tell me the other plan is still on track. As long as that one works, we'll have nothing to fear anymore. In that regard, I have good news. All factors have been adjusted for, and the ritual can take place within the new time frame. The only variable is the prince, but a contingency is being worked up to deal with him. Good. Return now, Helicilia ordered. The man bowed and backed out of the room. An observer would be impressed by the fact that he didn't bolt from the room once given the chance. Helicilia turned back to the window to look at the surroundings. An army that would rival any country's gathered outside. It was composed of undead ranging from Tier 1 all the way to Tier 3. It looked grand to Helicilia, but she didn't know if it would be grand enough for her master. He had his own vision of the world. That was what allowed the necromancers to gain so much strength. "You appear to be having some trouble," a voice echoed throughout the room. The shadows started to bend at twisted angles, even though the single candle holder never moved. "Master!" Helicilia cried, then immediately bowed, her face nearly touching the ground. "It would seem a new piece has joined the chessboard. One that could upset the entire game," Cassin whispered into Helicilia's ear. He was losing power lately, and the bitch Laloon was making things even more difficult in the other countries. He couldn't afford to lose the north, not when he was so close. "We're taking care of it, Master. There is no reason to be worried," Helicilia said quickly as she stood up. "Worried? I'm not worried. I have many more toys I can use to dispose of this core that thinks he is more than a hole in the ground. Let's see him deal with true power." Cassin's voice echoed through the room. The shadows warped and rippled. Then Helicilia found herself in the gathering room. The shadows around the altar stopped moving and were pulled into a single spot. The fallen celestial Morka breathed in deeply, inhaling all the shadows that had been around the altar. She stood up as the shadow radiated from her, forming another pair of horns alongside the first pair. Her wings gained a liquid shadow appearance. Armor that appeared to absorb light formed around her figure. "But, Master, what about the attack from the heavens?" Helicilia asked. They had captured Morka a long time ago. The anticipation of the powerful weapon finally being used exhilarated her, but at the same time, the thought of losing it worried her almost as much. "I doubt the core will attack itself with that weapon." Cassin laughed. "Morka, my child, it is time for you to fulfill the mission I went through the trouble of getting you here for. Destroy those that would stand in my way," the Dark Celestial ordered. "Destroy the main core of this dungeon." "Yes, Father," Morka whispered. She held her hand out, and shadows swirled into a vortex around it. A double-bladed spear formed out of shadow and unholy green mana. It was deceptively simple, but Helicilia could feel the power rolling off it in waves. This was a celestial weapon, something that could destroy entire towns. "I thought the first council captured her," she asked, confused. "Ah, I let them think that, so they would be more confident. Sped up my timeline by nearly a decade, too," Cassin said, not bothering to lie. Morka could wipe them all out easily by herself, after all. Working up her courage, Helicilia asked, "What is your goal, Master?" Cassin considered for a moment. The plan was already in motion. Nothing could stop him from succeeding. Even if she had a change of heart, she was much too invested to leave the fold. He nodded to himself. "To return, or more precisely, to bring my brothers and sisters back to this hellhole." "Brothers and sisters? But you are in Celestia." Helicilia tilted her head. "Indeed, but my home is not here. It is in the heavens, somewhere you can't go to without incredible magic. My home is Deoris," Cassin said.